Great good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful Wednesday, August 5th, year of our Lord 2026, 9:14 a.m. on my Cordaro Jewelers watch. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, broadcasting today from the United States of America, the place where the brave, like the veterans we salute today, thanks to John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group, like Angelo Rose, Hill section of Scranton, Dominic Tamaro, Dunmore, Dale Reinheimer, Berwick. Veterans we've lost, but celebrate today, thanks to John. The United States of America, founded with a certain knowledge and understanding by our irreplaceable, amazing, and profoundly wise founding fathers who knew that government should not be, and then set about to make sure it would not be our parent, our guide, our direction, our salvation. Not any of these things, because they knew government power means less freedom, less liberty, and less choice. They also knew that because of human nature, power in the government would be abused. I guess we know that. The United States of America, the country where, for the first time in human history, freedom was declared by law to be an unalienable right granted to each individual by God. Freedom couldn't be parceled out to groups. It couldn't be controlled by government or government officials, because our great American Constitution ensures and codifies freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of association, economic freedom, and freedom of the press, even if they use it to lie. Not because they were armed with these freedoms, and only because of that fact. A ragtag bunch of immigrants. These Americans, they were, many of them, rejects from around the world. They and their progeny created the richest, most powerful, most culturally diverse and accepting nation ever to grace our planet Earth. America, the only place specifically invented and designed so that every American can live their life in the manner they choose, unlimited by their background, upbringing, race, color, or creed, unhindered by the government or those who would use government to control others for their own comfort, benefit, or power. This Bob Cordaro Show will always be convincingly conservative, lovingly logical, proudly and passionately patriotic, and reliably right. And so, we gavel to order today's meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that our total, immersive, immovable commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity to all of you who hearken here for the balance of this singular, extraordinary morning. And aren't they all? Well, guys, great to be with you. I can't believe it's Wednesday already. Oh, Lord. Somebody texting, good morning, LTS. Back at you. Finally saw a Bresnahan commercial. He's a stand-up guy who has our best interest at heart. He is. Yeah, an extraordinarily talented guy. Took the family business group by leaps and bounds, invested particularly in Pittston and real estate, did very well, and said, you know what? I'm going to do something. I'm going to give back. And he has, incredibly, not counting the fact that he does not take the congressman's salary. That is donated to a foundation which gives to us. And I was talking with Mr. Paul, our executive producer, yesterday, and he reminded me that, this just happened. There was a $400,000 in federal money that he got for the Wilkes-Barre police. And there's pictures of him with Mayor Brown, and Mayor Brown's smiling ear to ear. Well, he had already gotten $500,000 for Scranton, which is a bigger police department. $1 million for Dallas's sewer authority. First time they'd ever gotten federal funds. So what he's done as a freshman congressman is remarkable. I cannot wait to see what he will do in the future. It'll be off the charts. He's that good. And on the other side, we have a weak, feckless, left-wing lunatic, agenda-driven mayor of Scranton who's destroying my beloved city with just flat-out incompetence and indifference on top of the incompetence. Flying to Chicago to raise money on Monday. Oh, let's go. Nothing could go wrong except someone getting shot and losing their leg. Where was the mayor? Oh, she was in Chicago. Pipe burst. Where was the mayor? Oh, she was in Bala-Cynwyd having money raised by a sicko, a sick little twerp named Goodman, whose sole goal in life is to pursue and have hospitals get paid, hospitals and medical providers get paid when children who have gender dysphoria, or they think they do, they want to mutilate these kids. This is this clown's reason for living. And he raised money for Paige Cognetti because that's Paige's issue, too. Every left-wing sicko issue, or you would not have the Soros family maxing out contributions to Paige. Not counting the dark money they're spending, millions and millions on lies against Bresnahan. It's really revolting. Crazy stuff, though. And that's where we're headed. That's who they are, the Democrat Party. They're communists. It's over, guys. Is someone going to step up and take over? I don't know. As of now, no one has. Bunch of pussies. The Schumer, oh my, I mean, these aren't even men. Hakeem Jeffries, they're disgusting, disgraceful people. You think they're going to fight back against the communists? No, they become them. And I challenge you again, find me a moderate Democrat. Find me one. We will salute them. Well, I found one, Mayor Brown, Mayor of Wilkes-Barre. I found one. But this is insanity. All right, let's take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. Just a reminder, you can check us out on 103.1 FM, 910 AM, 980 AM, WILKnewsradio.com, and also on YouTube. In the YouTube feed, the live stream, you go Bob Cordaro Show, WILK, and it's brought to you by Roach Supply. Premier bath and kitchen supplier in Northeast Pennsylvania. 75 years in business, 96-year-old Ron Roach, kicking butt every day. And 3 generations of the family working side by side. That's why they're the best. Visit roachsupply.com today, ROCHE, or go to their stores in Honesdale and Chapman Supply in South Abington Township. Paul Lockett will correct me. roachsupply.com. We'll be back. This date, 1957, American Bandstand with host Dick Clark. It debuted on ABC television. It was a Philly local show, Bandstand. And the first record that Dick Clark played was Buddy Holly's hit, That'll Be the Day. Clark would stay on the show till 1989. And, of course, we remember him from, the New Year's Eve deal, whatever. New Year's Rockin' Eve, whatever the hell they call it. Anyway, the poor guy, he just went on too long. He had a stroke. And I remember the last time I watched him on New Year's Eve, he started counting backwards. Now, I hate to laugh about it, but he was counting backwards. But what a great career. Dick Clark, we love him. Bob Cordaro back with you on the program. Something interesting. Now, artificial intelligence, it's all over the place. And now here's something I think we could properly call ironic. Now, you know what we think of the boy king Billy Gaughan. He's an ass. He's a clown. He's a left-wing absolute lunatic. He and Paige Cognetti, they haven't done anything, so they're not the most malevolent forces we've ever had. I'd put, in Lackawanna County, I'd put Joe Corcoran and Bob Mello right up there. But let's talk about, with some returns with those two, by the way. They haven't done anything, but Billy Gaughan, he wants to spend $165,000 to hire a guy called Michael Cork. He's a PhD. He wants an independent county scientific analysis of cumulative air quality and public health impacts of these artificial intelligence data centers. Now, one of the reasons I love the guy, he's always thinking. John Basiliga. And it's not just because he's a sponsor. I'm telling you. So what does John Basiliga do? He goes to AI, and for free, he gets an entire analysis that Boy King Billy Gaughan was going to pay $165,000 of our money. The same analysis that you're going to get. AI did it. Now that's irony. and John Basiliga says, I hope I saved us $165,000. And it goes, I mean, I'm telling you, it's thorough, it's complete. It goes air quality and emissions, noise, water use and resources. It's very thorough. It's done. See, Boy King, because I don't know if he's a stooge for the Red Chinese, is anti-AI. Well, AI just did your job for you that was going to cost $165,000 for another one of these government hangers-on who guaranteed supports the left-wing agenda. And because that's where his bread's buttered. Maybe he's a lunatic to start. Unbelievable. So we could save $165,000, Lackawanna County. And I hope Chris Chermak is listening. I hope Tom Welby's listening. Don't do it. John says that it makes you wonder how they select companies to do studies. Bait the hook and suit the fish. You get what you desire, what you want out of the study. That's what Gaughan wants. He wants it pre-done to support his agenda. John said, I could add a couple of pictures and put it in a 3-ring binder to make it look official. That'll take another hour. And we can save $165,000 of our tax dollars. This is what these fools are doing. This is what they're doing. Somebody says, check the connection, one of the listeners. Check the connection between Little Billy and the guy he was going to give the $165,000 check to. fascinating. I mean, of course. Wendy says, I saw that post this morning. It's done, Boy King. It's done. We know, we have the analysis. The same thing. That you were going to pay $165,000 of taxpayers' money. All you had to do was get on your laptop. You see what jackasses we're dealing with? See, you can't be good at your job if you're a left-wing lunatic because you're divorced from fact, truth, and reality. Here's the reality and the irony. AI will give you the study on the impact of AI data centers. John Basiliga knew it. Of course, Billy Gaughn didn't. Wow. 9:33 on my Ricardo's watch. Oh, my Lord. It's just insane. We'll take a break. We'll be back on the Bob Cordaro Show. Our veterans tribute this hour, as with every hour, this day as with every day. Brought to you dutifully, patriotically, by our man, John Basiliga. It's Wednesday. It's time to start going out. I'm sorry. You got to check out what's going on. You don't have to go crazy, but it's Wednesday. It's hump day. And I could suggest for you 3 great bar restaurants in the Basiliga hospitality chain. The Old Brook Inn, 307 Springbrook Town Strip. The Far Street Tavern on Far Street in the Great Trips Park section of West Scranton. And the Queen City Tavern in downtown Oliphant. All of them beautiful, clean, fun, great food, great service, great people. Places to go. Dale Reinheimer. He was 82 when we lost him July 26th. He was from Berwick, expert rifleman in the U.S. Army. He passed away struggling with cancer. A graduate of Berwick High School's class of 1962. He entered the United States Army, serving during the Vietnam War. While on active duty, Dale served in Panama as a chauffeur for a colonel. He received a medal for expert riflemanship, as well as other awards for his service. He then returned home to Berwick to enter the workforce. He spent many years as a clerk in the unemployment office for the Department of Labor and Industry. During his time with L&I, he received a number of awards recognizing his dedication and hard work. Dale and his wife Mary took trips to Ocean City, Rehoboth Beach. In his later years, he loved taking rides to Lake New Angola and eating a good Stookies barbecue. Active member of St. Mary's Catholic Church, the Lions Club. In addition to his parents, he's reunited in heaven with his sister, who was waiting for him. 2 brothers. Dale will be lovingly remembered by his wife, Mary, sisters-in-laws, other family members, and a very special goddaughter, as well as her husband in Philly. Dale Reinheimer, our great veteran this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and the Basiliga Hospitality Group. AccuWeather forecast brought to you by the gang at Montage Mountain. The great water park there is in full swing. The new arcade in the lodge is ready for action. Today, humid with times of clouds and sun. A thunderstorm possible this afternoon, high 83. Tonight, a thunderstorm in spots, low 71. Tomorrow, clouds and sun with a couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm, especially late. Humid. Storms, they give the editorial. And I keep forgetting to cross it out before I read the report because you know all these things. See, they don't understand how smart this audience is. High 87 on Wednesday or Thursday, low 71. Friday, clouds and breaks of sun, humid with a couple of showers and a possible thunderstorm. And again, they do their little editorial. Now, do you know, maybe I'm wrong on this. This audience, I can be sure. You know that storms can bring flooding, right? Anyway, high 85, low 69. Saturday, humid with intervals of clouds and sunshine. Thunderstorm possible in the afternoon. And, of course, storms can bring flooding. Yes, they can. Isn't that amazing? High 86, low 67. Sunday, mostly sunny, humid, high 89, low 66. It's another great water park week. Bring the kids, bring the nieces and nephews, bring the grandkids. Bring yourself and just hang out. Montage. It's 71 degrees at Montage right now. The Isley Brothers. See, I always thought it was the guys on Animal House that originally did this, but no, the Isley Brothers. Murph tells us this date, 1959, recorded their hit at RCA Victor's Music Center of the World in Manhattan, New York City. It's called Shout. Bob Cordaro back with you on the program. Hey, let's go right to the blower. We got Jeff Malice patiently waiting. There's another Penn State Alumni Association event. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing well, Bob. Thanks for putting me on here.
Tell me, what's happening?
Okay, so today's the first day of football practice for the Penn State Nittany Lions. But on August 14th at our Carolyn Janelle at 7 p.m., we're going to have our annual pizza party. Donnie Collins is going to speak on the team. Coach Campbell and his new arrivals, obviously. It's $10 at the door. Doors open at 6 p.m. And we'll have pizza and salad. It's a really nice night. It's about an hour, 2 hours long. And then they have questions and answers for Donnie.
And Donnie knows his stuff. Donnie Collins knows his stuff.
Yeah, he's very good, and we're looking forward to it. So we're just trying to get some information out to the public. We'll put it in the paper. We usually get between 75 and 100 people down there. And
nice.
The pizza's great. Angela treats us real well.
Of course. Arcaro and Janelle's, you can't. For $10 to eat Arcaro and Janelle pizza, it's
right.
like stealing.
Now, if you want trays, you have to buy the trays to take out. But anything you want, you have there. Now, there is a cash bar. Soda is on the house. It's on the Penn State chapter.
Nice.
Also we're having the chicken barbecue October 4th. I did bring a poster down to WILK, but as that gets closer, I can come down and speak on that. So that's what I wanted to let you know.
And that's that's in memory of my friend, my old friend Wayne Sebastianelli. So that's
absolutely.
A big event. We want to push that.
That's a big event.
So Jeff, quickly, August 14th. What time?
7 o'clock. Doors open at 6. We start the program at 7 p.m. That's a Friday night.
At our Janelle.
Friday.
Nice.
Correct.
All right.
Now
I'll be off next week. I'll be back Friday. I'm off Monday through Thursday next week, but I'll be back Friday. You call in again Friday just to remind people it's happening that night, all right?
Yeah, one last thing. We lost, you went to Dunmore. You remember we lost Paul Bradigan, an English teacher in Dunmore.
Yep.
He actually, I wanted to mention this to you, he actually was my freshman football coach along with your cousin Moochie.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I know. How about that? Moochie was uncoachable.
Moochie and I were captains,
along
with Michael McDonald for Paul Bradigan.
That's hilarious.
And the five of us moved up and played in the Thanksgiving Day game. But Paul Bradigan was a good football coach.
Breezy Bradigan. How about that? He was a good guy.
Good guy. Just wanted to mention that to you.
I'm happy you did.
Especially because of Mooch.
I'm happy you did. It's good to think of Mr. Bradigan again. Jeff Malice, thank you. Next Friday night, 7 o'clock, Arcaro and Janelle's Pizza and Penn State. It'll be great. Thank you.
You're welcome, Bob. Thank you.
My man. We'll talk to you again about that. Let's take our break now. Let's hear from our sponsors, and then we'll come back with a phone call or two. It's the Bob Cordaro Show, 9:48 and change on my Picardo's Watch. Murph tells us this date, 1967, The Doors' #1 hit with Light My Fire. Bob Cordaro back with you on the program. Let's go right to Ed from Berwick. He's been very patient with me. How are you, Ed?
Oh, buongiorno, Roberto.
How are you?
My life is Chivanu, but thanks for asking. Okay. I want to talk to you about John Lennon. I hear his song Imagine played as bumper music here and there. And there's a line that always fascinates me. Imagine there's no countries, not hard to do, nothing to fight, and die for, no religion too. However, after he made his millions in America, he left to go to England. He hated America. He came back because they said the taxes in England are too high.
Another left-wing fool, yes.
He came back on his 1040. It's line 22 last I looked, performing arts. So maybe your liberals can help me out. Where is this place? There's no countries. The moon, what? And they fascinate me. And he hated this country. He hated the military. But he goes back to England like Madonna did with her kid. She came back. Same thing.
Yep.
They taxed her dupa off. they come back here. But imagine there's no countries. Yeah, wonderful idea. I want to go there too. There's Planet. It doesn't exist here. Every other country has more tax abuse than we have. And that's all I got.
That's all you got, but that's a lot, Ed. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
So arrivederci.
All right, my man. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Ed from Berwick. Isn't that great? Exactly. Where is this nirvana? This is the greatest country on earth. Period. It's not even a close call. Somebody had texted regarding that Johnny Baz thing. Johnny Basiliga, just to recap for those of you who might not have been listening, that this is the proper use of the word irony, one of the most overused words in the English language. He used AI to analyze the impact of AI data centers. And he did it for free. And Boy King Billy Gaughan in Lackawanna County are ready to proceed with this $165,000 study of that which is already done. So obviously, the Boy King Billy Gaughan has no clue what he's doing. He doesn't know anything about AI. By the way, none of the other asses like Chris Kelly have a clue about what AI is, what it can do. They just are against it because they're left-wing lunatics. And I'm agnostic. If the project has merit, if it provides its own power, if it cleans its own water, fine, whatever. That's your land. That's your money. But the lunatics leading the charge gave me pause because my original instinct was to be against it. And I said, if they're against it, I don't know if I can be. My gosh. Oh, Lord. Johnny Basiliga says, make the snake eat its own tail. Yeah, well, here's AI telling you the impacts of AI data centers. And we got it for free, Boy King. My gosh. Oh, Lord. That is just so great, and I love it. And let's take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK, 10 o'clock on my Picardo Jewelers watch. We will hear the news from Brian Hughes, and then we'll come back. Great good morning, everyone. It's 10:08 a.m. on my Picardo Jewelers watch this beautiful Wednesday, August 5, year of our Lord 2026 here in the great Northeast. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, and it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values, and honor, with the help of our man John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group, the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like veterans we've lost this year, but celebrate today, thanks to John, like Dale Reinheimer, Berwick, Dominic Tamaro, Dunmore, and Angelo Rose, Hills section of Scranton. So with history, our amazing founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order today's meeting of the Club for Common Sense after that brief news adjournment, promising that our deep and unalterable commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity to all of you who hearken here. And one of the ways to hearken is to go to YouTube. Bob Cordaro Show, WILK, and it is brought to you by Roach Supply. Roach Supply, the premier bath and kitchen supplier in Northeast Pennsylvania. 75 years in business. 3 generations working side by side right now. 96-year-old Ron Roach, veteran Ron Roach at the helm. So visit Roach Supply, R-O-C-H-E, roachsupply.com today, or stop in their stores in Honesdale and at Chapman Supply, their other store, in South Abington Township, Roach Supply. And a reminder, your trusted guide to Florida real estate is Tina Morocco. She works for Sotheby's Realty in Naples. You could reach her there, or you could go right to the source, Tina Morocco, MURACCO. .com, TinaMorocco.com is her website, or anywhere on social media. Tina Morocco, MURACCO, your trusted guide to Florida real estate, specializing in Southwest Florida. So you see, if you want to see, the disgrace that is Anthony Fauci. And it happens to these people. I don't know if he ever was good, because he screwed up the AIDS response so horribly. You would think that the gay community would despise him, but see, the media always loved Anthony Fauci. He knew how to manipulate them. He knew how to leak to them. He knew how to give them stories. But he horribly screwed up the AIDS response in this country. That's in the 80s. So he's been screwing up forever and feathering his own bed forever. And now, 111 times, he refuses to answer. After he said, I'm an open book. No, you're a liar. You're scum. You are a swamp creature, the epitome of swamp creatures. And so I'm going through the newspaper, which I'm forced to do, and their letter to the editor. Someone wrote this in. It's almost stunning. Fauci's treatment heartbreaking. She says, why is the eminent doctor under fire again? What is wrong with you, Senator Rand Paul? Why bring this all up now? Well, because 1 million people died. And your idol funded the research illegally, I might add, because it was banned in this country by Obama. Gain-of-function research in China. He funded it indirectly because he knew he was breaking the law. I mean, it's just so stupid. These people are so stupid. Why do you choose to be stupid? She says, shame on you and whoever else is behind this travesty. I am sorry for Dr. Fauci and his family who've been through the mill. I'm a senior and I worry for all of us, especially the children who need our voice. This is truly heartbreaking. Unbelievable. By bringing this up now, you are thumbing your nose at the one person who helped get us out of the pandemic through science. He had nothing to do with getting it over with. He thwarted getting it over with. He screwed up the entire country. He and his cronies. He denied science. He fought against scientific inquiry. He lied repeatedly to Congress. He had to get a pardon from another disgrace, Joe Biden. People are unbelievable. It's frightening. By the way, back to our Congressman Rob Bresnahan. He got the $1 million federal grant for the Dallas Area Municipal Authority. First federal money they've ever gotten. $400,000 for the city of Wilkes-Barre Police. $500,000 for the Scranton Police Department, which Paige Cognetti didn't attend. She didn't come to receive the check. You want to talk about small-minded? By the way, I've observed her. She knows who I am. She won't even look at me when we're someplace. And I've got nothing against her personally. You know, she's a horrible mayor. She's a phony. But I have a lot of friends that are phonies. So what? But she does not like people. You could see it. They had a film of her. They videotaped her jetting off to Chicago to raise money and desert her job as mayor of Scranton on Monday. And you could just see she just doesn't like people, period, unless they're bowing and scraping to her. That's the personality. Now, Democrat Mayor George Brown, he accepted the money. Very happy to get the money from Rob Bresnahan. Paige Cognetti, she doesn't care because she doesn't care about Scranton. She could care less and actually doesn't like the people of Scranton. Doesn't like them. Doesn't want to be involved with them. She needs her distance because she's better than all of us. Just ask her. Ask her and ask Wendy. Her little Herman Goebbels. Ask them. They'll tell you. Hey, so when I think about something silly and disgusting like that, I want to think of something great. Yes, yes, yes. Our Lorraine from Hazleton. Hi, Lorraine.
Hi, Bob.
How is ya?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
So talk to me.
Well, I wanted to read this poem.
Okay.
And I picked it out even before you were talking about, Fauci and that.
Yeah.
Okay, this goes back. It's called Nowhere to Run, Nowhere to Hide. The coronavirus crept up on us, and it seemed to appear out of the blue. Our local government closed us down for quite a while. They told us that it was more contagious than the flu. Our lives were literally put on hold. It was like the day the earth stood still. No one could visit friends or loved ones. We were all being held captive against our will. The entire state of Pennsylvania was in the red, and the next step would be the color yellow. By this time, everyone was at wit's end. It was very difficult to remain somewhat mellow. Just when we thought our colors would change, it seemed as though the carpet was pulled from beneath our feet. Nobody knew what to expect week after week. We all felt our own personal defeat. Eventually, every county turned to green, but much of our lives still seemed the same because a lot of things didn't change very much, and now we're required to play a brand new game.
Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
And by the way, it captures the disgrace that was this country's COVID response led by fools like Fauci. Without being political. I have to be political. That's my job.
Hey, listen. My brother was in the hospital, literally dying. He had 2 bad operations. My sister-in-law couldn't even go visit him.
My God.
And then when he came to a nursing home to die, he knew it. I mean, there he was behind the window in a wheelchair, looking out, and I on a chair outside of the home, looking and talking to him on the phone. So, I mean, that's just an example.
Barbaric. Absolutely barbaric. It really is. I mean, what this clown put this country through, with the help of many others, I might add, and people trying to gain power from this crisis, which they made a mountain out of a molehill. But it's really something. Oh.
And you said you were sorry you had was it the first 2 shots? So was I, because a bad situation happened to me. I ended up in a hospital, and it affected me for the rest of my life. And I still blame that. So usually I have a hard time making up my mind. But I'll tell you, I mean, I was afraid to get it. I still am afraid of everything because I've been through a lot. But I would never get the shot, and I never did get it again.
Mm-hmm.
And leery. So.
Well, I personally feel that I'm still feeling the effects of it.
Yeah.
I truly do. Things that didn't exist. And I said, well, I'm getting older too. But then things that I didn't have to deal with before the shots, I'm dealing with after. Causation, I can't say. Correlation, without doubt.
Yeah, I know. You don't know coincidence or not coincidence, but I wasn't taking a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, not that you want to get anything, and then so you're like, it's a quandary. I don't know.
Well, Lorraine, thank you for the poem. Very timely. How about that?
Yeah, see that? You timed your commentary before, and I already had the poem picked. You did good. You did well. You did well.
Thank you so much, Lorraine.
Hey, you're going on vacation, I heard from a little birdie?
Yes, I said it on the air. Monday to Thursday, I'll be off.
Well, I must. Oh, boy. Is Hazelton one of your stars?
I'm the only guy that comes back on Friday. No, we're going to as they say in Philly, the Shure.
To the Shure?
The Shure.
Are you sure?
Yeah. All right, you're starting to joke. That means we got to cut you off. Thank you, Lorraine.
Fuzzy.
Thank you, Lorraine. We appreciate it, my dear.
Okay, bye now.
All right. Let's take our break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We will return. Murph tells us this date, 1967. The Beatles, they moved from number 29 to number 3 with their hit, All You Need Is Love. And my man Mark the Shark from Hazelden reminds me that this date, 1966, he tells me, Revolver album was released. Okay. We're in. We're in on the Beatles. Big day for the Beatles, August 5th. So let's go just a bit further on Fauci. I had this post from Jeffrey Tucker on X, and it involves a conversation between Obama and Fauci. And I've got to read it. Barack Obama calls, and this is Fauci's recollection of the call. He says, Leslie Dack had contacted Barack Obama to ask him to give me a call to see what he could do to counter the slanderous lies there have been coming from the far-right press, extreme right elements in society, and even several members of the Senate and the House. President Obama called me tonight, this is Fauci, at 5 p.m. on my cell phone and offered to help in any way that he can. He started off the conversation by saying that he was concerned about me and how I was holding up under this onslaught of slanderous lies. He said that I was a civilian and that I should not have to put up with this nonsense. He, as a politician, is used to this, but I have done nothing but serve the American public and the world for decades. Yeah, you served yourself, you little pig. He continues. He expressed concern that this would interfere with my important work on behalf of the American people. I explained to him what was going on, and he was extremely sympathetic, and in fact said that he would call up Ron Klain or Jeff Zients and ask them to have the administration be proactive in countering these lies. Now, these are the two chiefs of staff, respectively, in the Biden administration. I explained to him that President Biden, as well as Ron Klain and Jeff Zients, had been extremely helpful and supportive in making it very clear that they had complete confidence in me. In addition, I told him then Jen Psaki had continuously said at White House press conferences when asked whether the president would fire me, that indeed the president would never fire me, and that this was a bunch of nonsense. President Obama felt that we should do more than just claiming that they have my support and actually go on the offensive and call out people who are allowing this to be said and not stepping up. President Obama said that he would call up Jeff Zients and tell him to mobilize some of the people in the administration to proactively go out and defend me. I told President Obama about the crazy things that the far-right Republicans were doing, including the fact that Donald Trump Jr. had on his website the sale of sweatshirts and T-shirts to collect money for his campaign, and on the T-shirts and sweatshirt it said Fauci kills puppies, which he did. He funded beagle research that killed beagles. That's what he did. Obama said that Donald Trump Jr. is a effing moron. He apologized for using crude language, but then went on to say that Donald Trump was a hopeless idiot who was a pathological liar. He was very upset that none of the moderate Republicans were actually speaking out on my behalf and were distancing themselves from all this terrible, slanderous behavior against me. It was a great conversation that lasted for 25 minutes, and he said that if he hears anything about movement in this direction, he will get back to me. It was indeed an incredibly memorable phone call. Anthony Fauci. And as somebody commented, it reads like Obama was actually running the Biden administration. And it also shows how easily Obama was able to manipulate Fauci. I mean, I'm telling you, these people are disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. And the amazing part on what a partisan Obama is, so that tells you he's got problems, okay? He ordered no gain-of-function research on this soil. Said it was illegal. Fauci circumvented that. Now, did he do that? Because many claim it was done in Ukraine as well. Gain-of-function research. Biolabs in Ukraine. Many people claim that, and with justification, Obama was part of getting this stuff offshore, which eventually led to the problem. That's why they needed to cover up and stick together, because they caused the problem and the release at the Wuhan laboratory. Unbelievable. Fauci and Obama had a long record together. And did they conspire together? Maybe so. Maybe so. There's actually pictures. And you don't know. Everything could be. Fauci with Obama in 2015 at the Wuhan lab. Fascinating. Fascinating, fascinating. And did it have a political ramification to take Trump down? Maybe. 10:32, I'm on Picardo's watch. We'll be back. Our Veterans Tribute this hour, as with every hour, this day as with every day, brought to you by our man John Basiliga. And since it is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we love to feature the Basiliga Hospitality Group. We talked about the Old Brook Inn, the Far Street Tavern, and the Queen City Tavern, 3 great bar restaurants that are part of the group. Well, we've got 2 of the best and most beautiful fine dining establishments anywhere, not just in Northeast Pennsylvania. One of my favorites, well, they're both my favorite, Atera 519, downtown Scranton. New menu, new chef. Chef Alex Diaz, great guy. And happy hour menu, bar bites. You could go there and you could hang out affordably. I know, because I need to be there affordably. The same thing with the Stegmeyer Mansion, which is an old world take on the same exquisite dining experience. The Stegmeyer Mansion and Atera 519, 2 of the best restaurants you will ever go to. Dominic Tamaro, a guy I knew since high school. We lost him December 31st of 2025. He was 89. Dominic was from Dunmore. Born in Dunmore, member of St. Anthony and St. Rocco Parish, graduate of Dunmore High School class of 1955. After graduation, Dom served with the U.S. Army in Detroit, Michigan with the Guided Missile Control Group. Upon discharge from the Army, he was employed at Firestone, where he honed his skills as a master mechanic. After Firestone, he began a career at RCA in Dunmore. Retired in 1999 from RCA Thompson as the second shift superintendent of manufacturing, a job he loved. And he formed a lifetime of friendships that he maintained until his last days. After retirement, he began working at the Scranton Municipal Golf Course, the Muni. Remember that? He was a starter in charge of organizing the leagues. There couldn't be a more perfect job for him. Other than work, Dom's two passions were golf and football. Loved hanging out, playing golf, watching golf, all that. He had 2 holes in 1. Loyal fan of the Dunmore Bucks, Penn State, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. In addition to his wife, he's survived by his children, my friend Kathy Egan, her husband Bob, also my friend, Margie and her husband Jeff, good people, 2 grandchildren who he adored, and many other family members. Dominic Tamaro, our veteran this hour, brought to you, as always, by John Basiliga and the Basiliga Hospitality Group. AccuWeather forecast brought to you by the gang at Montage Mountain Resort, where it is water park time. Another great water park day today. Humid with times of clouds and sun. Possible thunderstorm this afternoon, although I checked my weather, I didn't see it. 83. Tonight, thunderstorm in spots, low 71. That's when we're going to get the weather. Tomorrow, clouds and sun, couple of showers, heavy thunderstorm. That'll be late. It's going to be humid. Perfect water park day, high 87, low 71. Friday, clouds and breaks of sun, humid with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. What do we got here? It's on the fold. High of 85, low 69. Saturday, humid with intervals of clouds and sunshine, a thunderstorm around in the afternoon, high 86, low 67. Sunday, mostly sunny and humid, high 89, low 66. It is water park weather. It's 76 degrees right now at the water park at Montage Mountain. The Monkees. Murph tells us this date, 1967. They moved from number 24 to number 9 with their Pleasant Valley Sunday. I don't know if I've ever heard that song before. But, you know, you hear the Monkees, you hear one Monkey Show song, you hear them all. Bob Cordaro back. By the way, Mr. Paul texts in service regarding Fauci. Public service? Yeah, at $430,000 a year to sit on his ass. Some service. And then he hands out grants to benefit himself, which government employees work to get him. The law, and a lot of people suffered because you're a scumbag, Fauci. Anyway, the Jazz Festival is this weekend. I got to see if I get the buttons right. And Bulldog, what is it? I press twice on the button, and then I get it on because. Talk to me. Who's first?
Sarah goes first. Well, we are equally as excited. We're hitting our 21st anniversary of the Jazz Fest, which is amazing, and it's
Yeah.
coming up this weekend. Yep. We've got 3 days of lots of different kinds of music. Friday, we've got 24 venues in downtown Scranton for the free Jazz Walk, which will be amazing. And Saturday, our headlining show with the Dirty Dozen Brass Band all the way from New Orleans, as well as continuation of the Jazz Walk. And Sunday, our traditional jazz brunches in the morning, and the Jazz Fest Big Band with special guest Ron Carter coming in for Sunday night show.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big deal. So much to put together. And one of the things I love about, you mentioned 21 years, it was in one static location for years until the COVID deal. And then you guys said, well, let's break it up into different venues. And I think it was a home run of an idea.
Yeah, we definitely took COVID and we took that shot on the chin like a lot of people did. And the following year, when we came out of that, we decided to have multiple venues that suffered from the experience that they had because of the shutdown. We wanted to bring back stronger economic development for the downtown Scranton area, and we're a big advocate of that with the festival, that we want to see the restaurants, the bars, retail spaces, various places all participating. That's why we have 24 venues on Friday night. We have so many people participating, having live music in their venue, and our fans come and patronize their places.
Yeah.
They get a wonderful experience, and it's a hearken to New Orleans. It's like going to the French Quarter, but here you are in northeastern Pennsylvania, in Scranton, PA, and you get that big city feel of what happens when you go elsewhere, like New York or New Orleans, as I was saying, or Los Angeles. It's a wonderful thing.
Well, I'm starting off at a Terra on Friday and then just bopping around. I'm very excited for it. You, Marco, are at the that's your sort of venue at the what is it called? The Casey whatever at the Hilton Hotel?
Yeah, it's PJ's Pub.
PJ's Pub,
inside the Hilton Hotel, and we turn that place into a amazing jazz club for the weekend, and we're going to have My Latin Jazz Quintet will be playing there on Friday. And then we have the incredible trumpeter, Carl Fisher, who's plays with Billy Joel for the last, at least the last 20 years he's been with Billy Joel. And he's coming in to play and perform with us. Troy Roberts, one of the hot tenor saxophonists that's playing all over the world, will be there. And it's going to be that's going to be a great night. But there's so many venues, too many to name, and I would suggest that people go to ScrantonJazzFestival.org and look at the schedule page and look at the ticketed events and look at the non-ticketed events and try to come out for the weekend and just have a great time.
It is fun. It is enjoyable. It's it's too. I found it's very relaxing.
I like that. I just started falling asleep right there when you said that. I like that,
not
Bob.
to the point
like
of
the way you
sleeping. It's that relaxation vibe. It really is all through the town.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah, will you say something about our ticketed events?
Please.
Absolutely. Yeah. So as I mentioned, we've got the Dirty Dozen Brass Band coming in on Saturday night, and they're going to be up at the theater at North for a 7:00 show. So we're really excited to have them. I mean, they are New Orleans brass. They use funk, bebop, R&B. It's a great mix. So that will be not probably as relaxing because you're going to be tapping your foot. You're going to want to get up and dance.
Yeah.
And then Sunday with the Emmy-nominated Scranton Jazz Festival Big Band, we've got Ron Carter coming in as special guest. Now, this gentleman is an absolute legend, bass player, and he is. He's got a long, long history in the jazz world and actually holds the Guinness Book of World Records for recording over 2,200 albums, which is phenomenal. 3 Grammys. But he's played with Miles Davis, John Coltrane, and many, many others. But those two in particular, we're celebrating their 100th birthday anniversary. So we're going to be doing a nod to them with that show, as well as celebrating the America 250 semi-quincentennial with some patriotic tunes as well. So it's a big celebration of lots of milestones and having this absolute legend coming and gracing us with his talents. So it's definitely something not to miss.
Give us.
Bob,
Go ahead,
Bob.
Marco.
I know you'll appreciate this being the political person that you are, but nothing says America greater than jazz, because jazz was born here
ours.
in this great country.
It is.
It is our music. It is our classical music.
Mm-hmm.
It's our greatest artistic exponent to the world. And it's truly a democracy. When you see jazz musicians perform, you're seeing them negotiate and agree and disagree and play and bounce off of each other, all within the moment. And nothing says democracy better than having a bunch of jazz musicians on stage doing that in front of an audience and making something wonderful happen with the music. So I thought I would say that to you, because I know you love the arts, but you also love politics, and I want to say that.
Well, I don't love politics. I actually hate politics.
Okay.
That may sound silly, but I truly do. I like common sense, and jazz makes sense. That's why I love it. Well, great, guys.
Also,
go ahead.
One more thing, Bob. Sarah, will you talk to Bob and the audience about the wonderful partnership we came up with, the Steamtown Historical site after the great big boy visit that came here?
Yeah, we've got another exciting train excursion for everybody. We did a wonderful partnership with Steamtown and the Iron Horse Society as a great community partner there. And they're doing a jazz train, which is going to be absolutely amazing. And it starts at 10 o'clock in the morning and runs all the way till about 3:30. We have tickets for that on our website. You can find out all the information there, but it's going to be a 30-minute ride up to Naog and back. We're going to have a live jazz band playing on the train all afternoon.
That is fabulous. When is that?
It's on Saturday afternoon from Saturday, August 8th from 10 to 3. And it's a great thing for jazz lovers, train lovers, families. Bring your kids out and take a trip up to Naog, hear some jazz.
And it originates down at Steamtown.
Yes.
How neat is that? What a great way. That is a great way to incorporate the historic site into the whole package. Guys, 100%. Love it. Yeah. We got to go because my Picardo watch tells me it's time for Bloomberg Money Minute. Thank you. Sarah Efforts, Marco Marcinko, Jazz Weekend, downtown Scranton. You got to go to ScrantonJazzFestival.org. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
The Stones, Murph tells us this date, 1978, that their 17th top 10 hit and their 8th number 1 hit with Miss You. Now, this is about my least favorite Stones song because it so happens, this is the disco era, okay? So a friend of ours, literally in the, the vest with the whole act outfit, he danced in front of us as we were drinking beer to this song, and it ruined the song forever for me. I won't mention who it is, but yeah, the disco dance just ended it for me with Miss You on the Stones. Bob Cordaro back on the program, and a couple of guys just stopped by. They were doing an interview for Brian Hughes' Saturday show, and we talked about them last year. We had them on and talked about this because on August 24th at Blue Ridge Trail Country Club, Tunnel to Towers, there's a golf tournament, and Brad Clark and Jay Gillen are with me right here. Gentlemen, tell us about this tournament. I'm so happy you're doing it again this year because Tunnel to Towers is such a big deal.
Yeah, so Tunnel to Towers is a foundation that came about because of the happenings of 9/11. That we're in a 25-year anniversary this year. And with the tragedies that took place that day, a lot of people impacted. First responders, police departments, fire departments, Port Authority, and now add in the veteran aspect to it as well. And that's what Tunnel to Towers is doing is eradicating homeless veterans, eradicating those in need. So myself and Jay. We happen to love golf, and we happen to be very passionate about helping others as well. And in this particular case, I know Jay has some more information here, some things that he wants to talk about, but decided to do a golf tournament. And he presented me with the idea, and we started just getting back and forth as far as some information on how we could make this happen. And last year, we ended up getting 15 teams together. And we were able to raise over $6,000 for the organization. So this year we're hoping to make that a bigger success as like anything. You want to grow that. So already this year we have 18 teams, so we've already improved. And a lot of things going on with that. One thing I definitely want to make sure that I don't miss is that sometimes people don't golf, but they love the organization and they want to do more for it. One thing they can do is they can sponsor somebody. So maybe a first responder, maybe a firefighter, a police person that's local, or even a veteran that you would want to sponsor. You can sponsor that person, send them out to the golf course. We'll be more than happy to get them set up with a team. Maybe they can collaborate with some others that they don't know, and just be on a team with that. So anything is going to help the cause.
And I'll tell you this, Jay and Brad, the golf course is fabulous. I'm sick to even think about it. Bob Tamber, who built the course, has passed away just recently. An old good friend of mine, and it is a great place. He has created an amazing place to play golf. Even if you're a country clubber, this course is right on par with that. If you're a public course player like I am, this is like your nirvana. It's a great place to play Blue Ridge Trail.
Yes, I was just there yesterday, and the place was slamming, as it usually is.
Yeah.
The course is in just fabulous shape. The Emerald Room, they built that kind of back dining room. This is gorgeous. We'll be set up there again this year. Froggy, Doc, and Chewy will be presenting their show from 5:30 till 10 at the course.
Nice.
We're going to have a $10,000 hole-in-one contest, so that's really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I have two of them, so anyone can get them,
Have either one of you ever had a hole-in-one?
Yeah, I have two.
He's
No.
got
Two.
Oh, that's what you're saying. You have two.
Yeah.
I thought there was two on the course.
Yeah, no,
Jay, we're all jealous of you instantly.
I've never had one. I've been golfing for 30 years and never had one, and he's got two. Yeah.
He's seen me play, so he knows anyone can do
Yes.
this.
But August 24th, 8:30 a.m. registration, shotgun start 10 a.m. How do they sign up either for themselves or to be a hole sponsor or to sponsor a first responder?
Yeah, there's a couple of ways. They could, Froggy 101 website is on there, and there's an email address there, and there's my cell phone number. I don't know if you want me to give my cell phone out.
That's your call.
It's been blasted out there all the time.
Yeah.
570-706-5075. 706-5075.
Nice.
There'll be 50 to 80 baskets for sale. So if you don't want to golf, we've got Michael Kors purses, we've got Yeti cooler, we've got Blackstone grills. Great time. If you're playing, we've got breakfast in the morning. We've got adult beverages on the course. We've got a beautiful meal afterwards. It'll be great. It'll be a great day. Everyone enjoyed themselves last year, and I expect it to just be that much better this year.
Well, we won't leave it here. You guys could call in. I won't be around Monday through Thursday next week, but after that, just call in when you have an opportunity, and we'll recap everything then. Okay?
Absolutely. Thank you.
This is great. Yeah. Tunnel to Towers golf tournament at Blue Ridge Trail Country Club in Mountaintop, and it's August 24th, and starts at 8:30. The shotguns start at 10 a.m. It's going to be a great day, and it's a great course and a great cause. Thank you both, Brad Clark, Jay Gillen. Thanks for stopping in. Even though you weren't here to see me, I was happy to bring you in. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you both.
Yes, sir.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Hey, 11:02 on my Picardo Jewelers watch. That means it's news time for Brian Hughes. We'll take a break, do that, and be back on the Bob Cordaro Show. You know it, baby. The war goes on. I'm watching the absolute evil clown, Abdul El Said. He's won the Democrat primary in Michigan, a communist, an Islamist, a disgrace, and he is now the Democrat nominee for United States Senate in Michigan. Wow, have we shrunk and sunk. My man, excavator guy, saying, what happened with the election in Michigan yesterday? Did the state completely lose their mind? Yeah, they did. Crazy. Great good morning, everyone. 11:09 a.m. on my Picardo Jewelers watch. This beautiful, what is it? Wednesday, August 5th, 2026 here in the great Northeast. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, and it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values, and honor with the help of our man John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group, the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like the veterans we celebrate today, thanks to John, we've lost them this year and last, like Dominic Tamaro, Dunmore, Dale Reinheimer, Berwick, and Angelo Rose, my old buddy from the Hills section of Scranton. So with history, our amazing founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order after that brief news adjournment, today's meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising that our deep and unalterable commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity to all of you who hearken here. What's hilarious? JB sent me a meme. It said, imagine taking medical advice from a man. There's a picture of Fauci. Imagine taking medical advice from a man who needs a pardon for the medical advice he gave. Yeah. Oh, he's a great doctor. Unbelievable. Insane. Brother Mike asking if Dominic Tamaro, I think he graduated a little bit ahead of our father, Mike. He's a Dunmore High School graduate, Dominic Tamaro. Good friend of mine since high school, her dad, who we honored at 10:30. Angelo Rose coming up this hour. Another guy that I just loved and admired. Navy guy says, got to be careful with AI, Bob. It notoriously uses invalid references. I know firsthand. Of course, I don't trust it. But I will tell you this. If this clown Gaughan has his way, we'll spend $165,000 of Lackawanna County taxes on some fool who has a prejudged outcome. So, like, do you want science or do you want advocacy dressed up as science? And by the way, AI did it for free. We'll see. Bunch of texts I do want to get to, but we got Razor from Peckville on the blower regarding this very same Michigan election, which is distressing. How are you, Razor?
Good. How are you?
Great.
So we got the DNC just announced a little while ago that they're backing this guy. Okay?
Unreal.
Now, I want to talk to the Democrat. I'm not a Democrat, but pretty soon we're not going to be running against the Democrats. We're going to be running against the socialists, and these Democrats here are going to be done. So all politics is local. The biggest local Democrat stronghold, one of, was New York City. That fell to the communists. What makes them think that Scranton, that Lackawanna County isn't going to fall to the communists? These guys, and what you said, we got to speak up for our country.
Yep.
Do you hear any of these Democrats speaking up for our country? Not one. Not one. Their jobs are threatened. Our country is threatened, and they could care less. And the proof that all they care about is power is the DNC backing this. I won't curse. Okay, they're backing him, and if they cared about their true democratic democracy, they would say, we do not back him. He's not one of us. They're making him one of them.
Yep.
Making them. So also,
well, but remember, it's a party of appeasement. You're talking about weak-kneed, lily-livered leadership in the Democrat Party. It's a complete disgrace. Plus, they're already in the communist camp with all of their policies because they hate Trump so much.
And that's where this all came from, because they spoke so much about it. These guys said, okay, well, that's kind of what we think. We'll take it. And the reason they're appeasers, because they want to keep power.
Yep.
That's all.
Yep.
That's why they appease. All right, so now I want to speak one more thing about us, Bresnahan. I spoke to him a little bit a couple weeks ago about him. He has he's like a quarterback who gets pummeled 10 times in a game and then brags about that he got a couple of 10-yard plays. Okay? This guy got pummeled about Medicaid. All he had to do was come on for 10 seconds and say, I voted to lower Medicaid because that stuff was being abused and it was being given to people that shouldn't have had it. So we cut Medicaid so that people who deserved it had more money for them.
Well, he did come on these airwaves and do just that. And there are no cuts to Medicare. It was never lowered. The Medicaid payments were never decreased. Ever. They cut out people that were illegal aliens. They cut out fraud, and that was the aim of the big mediocre bill. And they said that people who were receiving Medicaid have to give us 20 hours a month, even at a charity.
And I'm really glad that he did it on your show. But recently, I'm going to tell you, within the last 2 weeks, I've heard his voice a dozen times. In the last 2 years, I hardly heard it at all. A dozen times. And what does he talk about? Those 10-yard plays. Oh, we saved people this money. We saved people that money. I did this. I did that. That's your job. Don't brag about your job. Defend what you're being accused of. And he's even in these ones for running, he did not defend himself against those cuts to Medicaid. Not once. Not that I heard of. On your show, okay. Not on these advertisements. And I'm telling you, I've heard like a dozen of them.
He doesn't.
Why not?
Look at, because the left has all the money. They've got billionaire money going into left-wing candidacies like Paige Cognetti's, going to groups like Fight that ran Mamdani's campaign and is now running Paige's campaign. They've got millions and millions. They've spent $10 million against Rob Bresnahan already.
And I agree. But
if you don't have the money, you can't argue on TV. You can't buy ads if you don't have the money.
I heard him a dozen times, and he didn't bring up that Medicaid thing at once. The Medicaid is what's pummeling him.
Well, how often
That's what's giving him the bad name.
I don't agree with you there.
I heard him on the radio. On the times that I heard him, all he spoke about is, oh, what did I do for you? What did I do for you? I didn't hear one thing about defending his vote for Medicaid, not one. And I heard him a dozen times in the last 2 weeks. So he may not have had the money, but when he did spend the money, he didn't say anything about Medicaid. Well, anyway, so that's
do you
the story
think?
with
By
him.
the way, do you think? This is strategic, partly. Why would you respond to lies except to dismiss them?
Because you've got people that all they care. I've been in. I'm telling you.
People who believe these lies. I'm telling you this, Razor. People who believe these lies. You can't spend your entire campaign chasing Paige Cognetti's lies. You can't do it. You got to say what you're doing.
Right. Okay. I've been in tens of thousands of houses in the last 46 years. I've seen these people who grab a stupid headline and run with it, and there's no truth to the damn thing, but they run with it because somebody they like said it in the Democrat Party.
And how many of them are you going to convince?
No, but then you've got a whole bunch of
listening.
You've got a whole bunch of other ones who are on the fence and say, "Well, yeah, I did hear that Bresnahan is voting against Medicaid, and I don't like that."
Maybe so.
You
I
got
don't
that
know.
middle you got to go for. And maybe I'm paying attention, but when I heard him, all he was talking about is how I helped this person, how I did that. We saved this much money.
Yeah, there's his
Not
job.
what was getting punched in the face. That's his job. Okay?
She can't do her job. She's incompetent.
Do the people care about that? If they're going to vote
Jesus,
for
I hope
freaking,
they do. Look at you. You're not
me
going to
a break. If
convince
they're gonna vote
Razor.
for-
We're going to disagree on this. You can't convince stupid voters, dummycrats, people who blind vote like idiots, to not vote like idiots because they are looking for confirmation bias wherever they can get it. You've got to convince normal people to vote Bresnahan because he's doing a great job and because they know that the Page's commercials are lies. So I respectfully disagree.
If you got people who are going to vote for communists, you're never going to go to them.
Yeah, and you're not going to convince them. You're never going to convince those assholes. You're never going to convince idiots to vote properly. That's why we have what we have in this country. You've got to go for normal people. Our problem on our side, the normal side, and that's not the Republican side, by the way, the normal side, our problem is people don't go and vote. And they will go to vote more on positive things than they will on negative things. So where you put the emphasis on the campaign, I would rather put it on positive. That's me. Than answering lies. You can answer her lie. Her entire commercials are lies. Her entire campaign is lies. Do you answer and spend all your time responding to that? Or do you say, here's what I'm doing, here's what I've done, here's what I will do? That's what will get people to get out to vote. I certainly hope so anyway. Razor, we got to go, man. We're over time, man. 11:20. I'm at Bacardo's Watch. We'll be back. Tom Petty, number one hit with Free Fallin'. Murph says this date, 1989. I'm getting so much information, I don't know where to turn. Slick says, Bob LTS, Libs of Pittsburgh got to be freaking out with Rodgers. We played that clip last hour. I'll root for them to win the Super Bowl just to see the libtards squirm. Bob's LTS, but you're espousing the same irrationalities we typically see from left-wing wackos. If you can't be wary of hyperscale data centers, I am, just so you know, I am. You got to listen to everything I say, not just the side commentary, but the listener continues. Built within shouting distance of residential areas, schools, and parks, simply because left-wing wackos are opposed to them. The old expression, even a broken clock is right twice a day, is apropos. I'm not for them. I'm not for data centers. I never said I was. You got to listen fully. You really do. And you're an LTSer, so I got to give you LTS back, but you got to listen to what I'm saying. I told you the restrictions that have to be in place. They have to create and provide their own power. They have to provide their own water systems to clean the water and return it in as good or better condition to our systems. They've got to be away from residential areas because there's a noise factor, which we've discovered, and more. So I will tell you, though, and this doesn't change my evaluation. The Chinese, this is not like speculation. The Chinese and others sympathetic with them are funding the protesting because they don't want us to have AI data centers. Now, where they should be, how they should be configured, and all I've said about AI data centers, the people who are trying to put them up aren't evil. And you have the left-wing loons pretending they are. It's a socialist, communist focus against the AI data centers. That doesn't mean I'm for them, but we've got to know where this information has come from. Look at if goofy Billy Gaughan is against them, Chris Kelly is against them, then I've got a problem with their arguments right off the jump because they're wrong about everything. They're not broken clocks. They're liars. They're fantabulists. They are not for real, and they're not to be taken seriously. Now, a neighbor trying to protect their house, that's another story. I get it. But you please know these people do not have your best interest at heart. They do not. They don't have the country's best interest at heart. They do not. They've got their agenda at heart. Crazy. But just keep that in mind. I'm not promoting AIs. I'm not for data centers. I'm not for data centers. But the left-wing loons cannot control this argument and this discussion. The communities have to do that. And the people who vote for it aren't evil. The people who are trying to build them aren't evil. Got to have some rationality, which the Gaughans and the Kellys and the left-wingers do not have any rationality. It doesn't come to them all of a sudden on a specific issue. These are sick people. They're mentally ill. They truly are. So it's got to be protected. The people have to be protected from any industrial development. So my best guess is we probably agree in the main. So, in any event. There was something. Oh, here it is. And here's the people who are doing this. Here's the Billy Gahens. Here's the Chris Kellys. Okay? And I want you to, it's a meme that was sent to me by JB. Wrap your head around this. The Democrats are mad ICE is using Medicaid data to arrest illegals after they told us illegals aren't on Medicaid. The irony. Another part of this. You do realize that 8 million people losing Medicaid and the 3 million losing SNAP benefits are not entitled to those benefits in the first place. It's called fraud. Like, please keep your eye on the ball. And they will use these issues to separate us. I don't want any of these facilities near homes, near schools. Not at all. But it's important that we understand that the people who are now proposing to stop them, vast majority of them are wrong about everything else. Why would they not be wrong about this? Why would they not be lying? So let's get to the truth. Our side, the normal side, is for fact, truth, and reality. If it's analyzed from that standpoint and they say no to a development, so what? I don't care. I don't have any stake in this. But if they're irrationally attacking people as though they're evil, as though they're out to kill people, which is what they do. This is what the left-wing sickos do, two of whom I mentioned. Now they want to spend, Gahn wants to spend $165,000 of my tax money for something he could have looked up on AI, ironically, in 2 seconds. Crazy stuff. All right, 11:33 on my Bicardo's watch. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We've got a veterans tribute, a special one for my man Angelo Rose, his son Perry calling in. We'll take a break and be back. Our Veterans Tribute, this hour as with every hour, this day as with every day, brought to you by our man John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group. 3-bar restaurants, as good as anywhere. The Old Brook Inn, 307 Springbrook Township. The Far Street Tavern on Far Street in the Great Trips Park section of West Scranton. The Queen City Tavern, downtown Oliphant. Coming soon, Coney Island Lunch, opening on Lackawanna Avenue. It'll be the best Texas hot dogs, Texas wieners, and cheeseburgers. And Reagan's Ice Cream, named after his daughter, right next door. Angelo Rose. We lost him June 13th of 2024. He was 93. A resident of the Hills section of Scranton. He lived at the Gino Murley Veterans Center. Preceded in death by his wife, the former Miriam Kane, who died back in 2013. Angelo was a special husband, father, grandfather, uncle, and friend. Born in Scranton, a graduate of West Scranton High School, he proudly served all of us in the United States Navy on the USS Kula Gulf during the Korean War. Prior to retirement, and so many of us know him through this, he was employed as a photographer for the Scranton Times for over 30 years. Over his long career, Angelo was a photographer for many sports teams, proms, social functions, and more. An icon of the Northeast Pennsylvania scene. He enjoyed his annual trips to Puerto Rico during February. He had friends everywhere. Family wanted to thank the Gino Murley Center for their compassionate care during his time there. Surviving are his son Perry, and his wife Annette in Clarks Green, a daughter Irene in Dunmore, a daughter Anne in Massachusetts. Also surviving grandchildren, great-granddaughter, and other family members. Angelo Rose. And on the phone, his son, Perry Rose. Perry, when I think of Angelo, your dad, I can't help but smile.
I think you're right, Bob. He was famous for that smile. He'd come into a room and just would beam. He loved what he did. He loved the people around him, and he was really a special guy. He was a legend.
Last time I saw him was with you at Sibio's a couple of years ago, and how time flies, several years ago, and he looked the same right into his 90s. From when I knew him, I guarantee it was when he was in his 40s and 50s.
Yes. He aged really well, and he was really strong just until the last year or so. He even went to Puerto Rico by himself when he was 88.
Wow.
So he led a great life, a good life, and he was really the focus point for all the family, both my mother's side and his side. We really gathered around him, and he was and if you were of a certain age, you knew him, so he is a legend.
He really, Perry. You mentioned in the family mentions in the obituary that he was an area icon. And he really was. Like that word is used too loosely in many instances. Angelo Rose. I mean, he was. By the way, he was synonymous with photography to all of us.
Yes.
He'd come with the camera and he'd say, now move over there, and very patient with everybody because he made you happy. We'd always clown around when he was there, and not to give him a hard time, but to have fun with him. And his patience was incredible.
Yes, he loved what he did. He did, and it's amazing the people who come through who said, "Oh, he took my pictures when I was 10 years old," and they remembered him, or he did our wedding photography pictures, in the 50s and 60s. He really was everywhere at all times. He really made a great career out of out of photography. He did.
And Angelo or Perry was the same off when he was at work and he was taking pictures. Pleasant, smiling, patient. Was that his personality when he wasn't working?
Yeah, very much so. He loved my mom, and he had it was challenging. He had to take care of her for a number of years, and he did it with a smile.
Yeah.
I think I drove him a little bit nuts over the years when I was a young man in high school and college. I feel bad for him almost, but no, he was a great dad. He was a great family guy. Loved having, his sisters and his sister-in-law and all the kids, and we all gathered at his house for Christmas and Thanksgiving, and it was really what he wanted. It was really how he wanted life to be, and he did it.
Now, he was of that generation that generally didn't talk about their military service. Did he ever talk to it about it with you?
Well, for him, luckily, he was on that aircraft carrier, and while they were in active duty, I don't think they, being Korea, they didn't see much action.
Yeah.
But he really enjoyed the camaraderie of the ship, and the guys that he was with, and actually over the years, then later on, went to some of these meetings where they'd have reunions and in San Diego or different places. And, I think he was very proud of his service. And it was something that he would bring up, when Navy played Army or, on July 4th of his birthday, he was very proud of his service. He was.
That's great.
And had some great stories about trying to find fresh water on the ship, or how you made friends with the guys in the galley so you could get some good food. And,
He would know all those angles. He really would.
It was so Angelo. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, Perry, I appreciate you so much coming on to talk about your dad. He is an icon. He was a great guy and somebody that so many people love being around. We thank you very much, and blessings to your family for having had him that long. But he'll be missed, but he will not be forgotten.
Yeah, we miss him a lot, Bob, but thanks for giving me a chance to talk about him.
All right. Perry Rose talking about his dad, Angelo Rose, our veteran of this hour. Thanks again, man.
Take care, Bob.
All right. We'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We will return. AccuWeather forecast. I wanted to wait and see how long before Bulldog got nervous. AccuWeather forecast brought to you by our friends at Montage Mountain. The water park in full swing, and it's another great water park week. And guess what? If you get a little bit of rain or you just want to get out of the weather, you go into the air-conditioned lodge, and they've got a brand new, fully equipped arcade. Today, humid with times of clouds and sun. Thunderstorm possible this afternoon, although that's not what my weather shows. High 80, weather updates shows, high 83. Tonight, there will be a thunderstorm in spots, low 71. Tomorrow, clouds and sun, couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm, especially late in the day. Humid, high 87, low 71. Friday, clouds and breaks of sun, humid with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, high 85, low 69. Saturday, humid with intervals of clouds and sunshine, a thunderstorm around in the afternoon, high 86, low 67. Sunday, mostly sunny and humid, high 89, low 66. And that's your weather, brought to you by the great gang at Montage Mountain Resort, where the water park is in full swing, and this is another great week to enjoy it. Somebody texted in the great quote from Ayn Rand. There is no difference between communism and socialism, except in the means of achieving the same ultimate end. Communism proposes to enslave men by force, socialism by vote. It is merely the difference between murder and suicide. Yeah. Now, I'm not sure what they're referencing, but Bob, sorry to say you just got suckered by a left-wing idiot. Maybe that data center thing? I don't know. Good morning, Bob. I hear your speech about data centers, but I think you need to understand the issues more in depth. Well, I have to tell you, I do. The data center zoning area proposed in Bear Creek would require them to drill wells for their water source. This current area currently encompasses residential areas, with numerous houses being within a mile of the proposed site. Based upon this issue in other states, we can safely assume that the residents' wells will run dry as it's happening elsewhere. How do you gain the support of residents who are knowledgeable enough to know that this is a legitimate concern? I'm not... Guys, don't let trigger words get you inflamed. This is, by the way, a very sensible... I'm not proposing any. I'm not favoring any proposals. Period. And the issues in Bear Creek are different than the ones in Wayne County, are different than the ones in Archibald. All I will tell you is don't let the left-wing charlatans drive the conversation. Have intelligent points like that drive the discussion. And we will get to a reasonable conclusion. You're not getting to a reasonable conclusion with irrational actors at the lead. That's my only point. There's a rational point, a very important one. Okay. Let's go. And don't give me your advocacy for or against them. Well, feel free to do, but like don't throw it on me. I'm not for them. I'm not against them. Period. They need to all be analyzed based on the specific sites, the specific developer, things like that, their water source, their power source. All of those things need to be analyzed properly. Fred from West Pittston. How are you, Fred?
Good, Bob. The fraud in Philadelphia, you heard of it yesterday?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Give me your opinion on this, because this is very close to us, Bob. Very close. And what I saw today in the morning at Channel 16 at 6 o'clock, they talked about Janine Pirro with Trump about the reflecting pool. They knew about that, but they don't know about this. So I called them.
Awful.
I called them, and they said, we don't know nothing about it. You got to email. Now, are you able to email them and tell them a story and see if they'll put this on? Or
Fred, if they didn't see the story, they don't want to report the story. They're lying to you.
Exactly.
My God Almighty! And somebody actually said that.
Right.
My God.
I don't even want to watch that channel, but Vance is going to be on TV tonight at 7 o'clock about the fraud that's going on. Yeah. Probably here. You never know. It could be in Scranton. It could be in Wilkes-Barre.
Oh no, we've got facilities here. I was sent the information a while back for autism, one of the big portions of fraud out in Minnesota. We've got organizations, nonprofits, reaping millions and millions of dollars, claiming they're taking thousands of clients with autism on, and you know that it's not even possible what they're billing. There is massive fraud in Pennsylvania because Wolf was in charge for 8 years. Shapiro's in charge now. Shapiro was the attorney general, and they looked the other way. Period.
It's sad. It's sad, Bob. They're totally our WNEP is totally controlled, and it's sad.
Unbelievable. Thank you, Fred. Appreciate it, brother. Oh no, there's a lot of fraud going to be found in Pennsylvania. A ton of it. Because Shapiro didn't care. In fact, he encouraged it. Wolf the same. And Shapiro was in 2 positions that should have had something to do with it. He didn't even care if Krasner was prosecuting murderers in Philadelphia. You think he cared about government fraud? He's the guy who's against turning over figures to the feds to find out who's committing fraud here. Same guy that lied about abortions, too. Scum. We're finishing up with Kid Rock, number 5. This date, 2008, with All Summer Long. Let me see if we can fit Max in here. Max, you only got 30 seconds, my man. My apologies, but that's when you called.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
Listen,
Fire away.
I've been studying the communist effect, and we didn't learn this in school. It's scary because everything we're seeing now here and in Europe is there are steps to taking over a country. Everything that you just mentioned about fraud and crime, it's all mixed in. It's deliberate. We've been taken over in some cases. So I was wondering if you could have somebody on that's an expert on communism and everything that's entailed that goes along with it and could come and speak on the show to educate people in this area, because we need to hear what really is going on, because these people that are coming into our government, even county, local levels, they are expediting this process. Okay,
there's been a merger of the left in the Democrat Party and the communists, and it is lethal, potentially lethal to this country. And people are still voting blindly Democrat when their local Democrat elected officials are still supporting people like Kamala Harris.
There has to be a light that goes on in people's heads. And if you could find somebody like a Victor Davis Hanson, big name and all, get him on the show for 15 minutes just to speak and educate people, because nobody really knows the truth about communism. We've never been taught about it in school.
It goes back to the discussion I had with Razor from Peckville earlier. Will the people that need to be reached listen? Normal people will listen, but the left and the Democrats, they'll never listen.
Unbelievable.
We'll keep the fight up, though, Max. Thanks, brother. Well, I'm done. My Picardo's watch tells me it's noon, and that means we're finished. Sue Henry show next. Rob O'Donnell show after that. God willing, I'll be with you tomorrow morning. Don't forget about the Providence Pregnancy Center tomorrow night. Stone Meadow Garden, a great event. I'll be emceeing. Didn't get to talk about it today, but we'll talk about it again tomorrow. Have a great afternoon, but we've got to adjourn. And God willing, I'll be with you tomorrow.